Welcome back. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis is set to roll out his Declaration of Economic Independence plan in a speech later this morning.
The economy is expected to drive primary voters to the polls, with 41% of Iowa Republicans saying it's the most important issue when deciding who to choose for the nomination.
That's interesting. I bet it's the same probably for you, too, even if you don't live in Iowa. Well, here to discuss this is investor and O'Leary Ventures chairman, Kevin O'Leary. Good morning to you, Kevin.
Great to be here. Thank you.
Well, great to have you here. What is your response to this? And what do you think about Ron DeSantis's Declaration of Economic Independence?
I think it's a good move on his part because he's got himself in a lot of distractions lately, obviously reflected in the polls. And the issues around the election are just being formed. The big debates coming up at the end of August obviously will highlight some of these. But you can't go wrong with the economy. There's no question about it, because while we're seeing the stock market rise rapidly to new highs, 60% of the economy is basically Main Street America, where they're having the highest rate hikes in history in terms of the speed at which they rose. For example, an auto loan to a AAA client is now past 9%. So while it's great if you're an S&P 500 company, the rest of the economy, where all the jobs are, 60%, are based around an economy that's looking more fragile to them as a voter. So I like what he's doing, but he's got a long way to go. There's been some real gaffes on his campaign, that's obvious, but by getting back on what people really care about is probably the best thing he could do at this point.
You know, if you're right, and I suspect you are, Kevin, that the number one driving issue will be the economy, it won't be good news in a general election for Joe Biden. You can see the polling right now, 38%, only 38% approve of Joe Biden's handling of the economy, 60% disapprove. But for Ron DeSantis laying out this plan, Kevin, he has to win a Republican primary. And you've pointed out that it hasn't gone swimmingly for Ron DeSantis so far. I do have trouble seeing that the economy is his life preserver for his campaign, because what people will do was look back to a time when the economy was better, and that was under his primary opponent, Donald Trump.
Well, you're trying to play advanced game here. Where will you be in the months ahead when the jurisdiction is going to vote for him, the constituency of Republicans? What will be on their mind when they're actually at that ballot stage? And I think there's a lot of evidence. While we've had great policy in big plans like the CHIPS Act and the IRA Act, the anti-inflation, all of that is billions of dollars for corporate America. Small guy America's feeling very, very nervous. And that is actually who's going to vote for this within the party. If you think about it, people want to know who's ever leading this have a plan to win a general election. And that means independent voters. You're thinking strategically as a Republican, who can get me the independents that actually decide the presidency? And that's Main Street America. So I 100% hear what you're saying. But if you're playing the long game, and not just a single debate, you got to have a plan for Mr. and Mrs. at the kitchen table, because they're the ones that are going to decide whether you're president or not. And I see lots of issues with high interest rates that are going to be right at the center of this discussion. And that is where rural America is, and that's where 60% of jobs are created. And nobody cares about them yet, but they will.
You know, when you talk about something you won't be seeing served as much on Main Street or at the kitchen table as the popular American beer, Bud Light. I mean, you talk about making a misstep, 25% of market share collapses. That equates to billions of dollars in losses, all because, and this is a quote that I'm pulling off the internet, so, you know, not directly attributed, but Alyssa Gordon Heiner, I don't know how to say her last name, I'll just say this. She was quoted in a podcast saying the brand's focus was to no longer cater to frat guys. I don't know that frat guys are what was buying Bud Light, but I'll tell you who isn't buying Bud Light, about 25% of the people that used to.
Yeah, this is an extraordinary case, and one I'll be teaching in business schools across America this fall. In the history of beer, in the history from when it was marketed, because remember, you're dealing with a commodity. Beer is essentially the same. What differentiates it is brand.
Yeah.
So you spend hundreds of millions of dollars a year building up a brand, and then you have to ask yourself, on a campaign that really brings you into a discussion around gender identity, is that the right thing for my beer brand? Well, apparently not, because even if you spend $200 million a year, the biggest moves in the beer market were measured by 1% to 5% in a year. That's an extraordinary volatility. To lose 25% market share has never been achieved, and it's impossible to even dream it. So what have you learned? Social media, widely held view amongst my CEOs, is that if you get a bad social media story, it's going to go away in 24 to 48 hours. But that didn't happen here. No. We're still talking about this situation months later, and they continue to lose share. That's number one is an issue. Yeah. Number two, you've really got to understand your constituencies.
Exactly.
What they did there was very damaging.
Yeah, I think most of us can see that. I don't know.
Know your audience.
Yeah. All right, Kevin O'Leary, great to speak with you this morning. Thank you.
Take care.
Thank you.
Take care.
I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.